three gunas are in each one of us and they are available to each one of us all the time. But they are fluctuating. They are never in one proportion. So if all this glass full is the three gunas, so if sattva is more, then rajas and tamas has to come down. If tamas is more, sattva and rajas will come down. The proportions go on changing. The proportions go on fluctuating. But they are available to you. And the good news is that you can train yourself to be more in sattva, less in tamas, less in rajas, more in sattva, and minimum in tamas. So a king may have, let's say, 3 ministers, 3 mantris. So one mantri is for home affairs, one mantri is financial affairs, one mantri is education affairs, let's say. So when he has to take the advice for some educational thing, he has to go to the education minister. He is not going to go to the finance minister, he is not going to go to the defense minister. Similarly, the three gunas in our body also perform certain functions. So when you want to train yourself to perform functions of sattvic nature, you have to train that guna and you have to subdue tamas and rajas. So let's say you want to have a good night's sleep. At night, you want to go to bed early. So which guna will you try to increase at that time?
Tamas.
Tamas you have to. It will make you inert. It will make you go to sleep. You have to try to increase the tamas. If you want to exercise, which guna you will bring up? Rajas. If you want to meditate, which guna will you? Sattva. If you want to go to work and do your business and market, whatever you all do, then rajas. You try to encourage or tap. You try to tap the guna which suits you for the activity which you need to perform. But whatever you do, even if you are doing rajas, you have to do it business and all, do it dharmically. So there is also some sattva involved in that. So the law of the universe, Prakriti, nature, is always, we are nature. This entire system is part of that Prakriti, and therefore we cannot say I will do nothing, because even if you are sitting here right now, you are saying I am not doing anything, I am just sitting. But sitting is also an action. Writing what you are doing, that's also an action. And while you are writing, you are also listening, that's also an action. And with your eyes, you're also seeing me. That's also an action. And you're also thinking something. What she's talking, God knows. That's also an action. That's also an action. When will she stop? That's also some action is going to go. All this, you cannot stay without action till you are in deep sleep. Okay? So, we are here on Karma Bhumi. In Karma Bhumi, we have to do action. But there is also an Akarma Bhumi. Which is Akarma Bhumi?
Heaven.
Swarg. Heaven. There you don't have to do anything. Only enjoy the bhog. All the... He wants to go there. He wants to go there.
I'm already enjoying bhog.
Unfortunately, he has to work for it. Unfortunately. So in Swarg, which is a karma bhumi, you are getting all the rewards of your punya. There, whatever you want is available on tap, Whatever. Is freely available. You have to do absolutely no work for it. So which you want, moksha or swarg? Why?
You have to come back.
After all your punya ka rewards are over, back to chakki pisawing on karma bhumi. You have to come back here. Then again start karma yog, gyan yog, bhakti yog, purusharth, karma, vagare, vagare, vagare. Then, if you incur more karma, back. So this cycle of earth and heaven and maybe some hell also in the bargain, all this continuously we are doing, for centuries. We are all done for I don't know how many lakhs of lifetimes we have done, all of us. Every single one in this room has done for lakhs of lifetimes. So it's time now to not think of a karma bhumi and enjoy all the chocolates that you want. Open your mouth, chocolate ka fountain will start going inside. Somebody will be dreaming of wine. Somebody will be divine. Somebody will be dreaming, wow, I have the softest bed in the world and I don't have to do anything for it, just sleep. Okay, but after that, back here. I may not be there at that time, okay? I'm telling you. I don't intend coming back.
Revision number 3.
Revision. This is revision of Bhagavad Gita number 3 or 4. I've lost track of that also. 5?
3.
Enough, guys. Enough of this. Going up and coming down, and sometimes going even more down. So let us just decide. This is the lifetime we are going to not continue this cycle of up and down business. Okay? So what will you all do now? How will you stop this cycle? Start with Karma Yoga. Start with Karma Yoga, okay? So you have to transcend karma by doing Karma Yoga. You have to transcend karma. You have to transcend actions by doing the actions with Karma Yoga Bhav. And what is exactly this Karma Yoga Bhav? Bhagwan will tell us in detail, but because you all want to know?
Yes.
You want to know? Yes. Then I will tell you one point which will make, there are 5 points for Karma Yoga Bhav. All 5 I know it's impossible for everyone to get it immediately. So let me give you 1 point and you practice that till we meet next time. And that's your sadhana for this fortnight. Whatever action you do it as perfectly as you can. That's easy. Whatever action you do it as perfectly as you can. That doesn't mean you become a pain in the dash for everyone else, okay? You do your work perfectly. Don't tell somebody else to do it perfectly. You do your work perfectly. That's all.
Maya said you do your work properly.
And don't quote me. Everyone, uses their rifle on my shoulder. Ma said like this. Let's ask Ma. Why you want to involve me in everything? You want to make your salad, you make it. And eat it also. So it's your perfection in your action. Don't tell your husband make the bed properly. You want to make it, you make it. Don't expect everything. Today we learned about Karma Yoga. And unless you make the milkshake properly, you will not get moksha. I'm telling you. Don't let all these tricks happen. And I'll tell Ma. I'm telling you all, you all are laughing. You all only do all this. I get calls. Ma, please tell him. Please tell her. Please tell him. What to tell now? Make your milkshake properly. Okay. Any questions? So you know your sadhana? Whatever you do perfectly. And if somebody else is not doing perfectly, it's okay. You want to say something? You want to? Yeah, tell me.
Access the different states. So, say I want to access a more active state or I want to be more passive. How does one? You spoke about training.
Yeah, very good question. So, if you, first and foremost, you have to be in sync with nature because you're trying to change nature. What we are trying to change is the gunas, right? Our active state, our relaxed state, and our inertia. So those are all part of nature. So we have to first learn to be in sync with nature. So do all your activities according to the circadian rhythm. You will not need to do any training. It will automatically happen. If you wake up at the correct time, if you eat at the correct time, if you sleep at the correct time, if you're exercising at the correct time, if you're meditating at the correct time, automatically, if you do it over a period of time, that habit by itself, the body will get a memory of it and it will happen effortlessly. In the beginning, it will be a bit of a strain because you're trying to change something. And the minute you try to change something, the mind and the body gets uncomfortable because it likes status quo. So whenever you're trying to change something, there will always be a period of discomfort. You simply have to go through it. So if you stay with the circadian rhythm, that is your training for becoming more active at the correct time and more relaxed at the correct time.
Now, what is the ideal time to go to bed?
I have sent you all the circadian rhythm. I have already posted it on our group. There is a time when there is a chemical in the body called melatonin. It starts secreting at 9 o'clock. 1 hour after that is the time it is at its peak. You should just go to sleep. If you stay awake after 10 o'clock, you will have to eat again. All those who put on weight are those who stay awake after 10 o'clock because they have to have another meal. That is your body that is the rhythm of the body. So no staying awake after 10 o'clock. And please don't send WhatsApp messages also after 10 o'clock. It's very against the circadian rhythm. No, I'm actually saying it quite seriously. Yeah.
Using your salad as karma yoga analogy, I'm presuming that if it's karma yoga, then there is an implicit wish or intention in it that it benefit those who eat it while we are making it.
Yeah.
So is that also not an attachment to the outcome?
Rather than saying the others will benefit, you say I'm offering this to Bhagwan. Okay? And where is Bhagwan? In everyone. So automatically, if I'm making it for everyone, I'm making it for Bhagwan. It's easier to say Bhagwan is in each one and I'm offering this to the Bhagwan in Sampada, I'm offering it to the Bhagwan in Dhanraj, than saying I'm making it for Sampada or Dhanraj. It becomes easier to offer and it becomes easier to give something of excellence every time. That's just a little different perspective. Yes? Anything else? All right.